Welcome back to Elley Knows Rocks, everybody. I have been told that that is a historical sheep farm, and there are Viking ruins next to it. I am standing on the edge of a small glacial stream going into the Unatok Fjord. I have been prospecting right in this stream in front of me. I've got a little bit of luck finding teeny tiny bits of gold, all coming from way up there in that U-shaped valley from where the glaciers used to crush the rocks and send it down this fjord. But today, I get to cross the river and go over to that abandoned sheep farm. We've got people filming glaciers in the fjord, beautiful scenery, so thank you so much for joining me on this adventure, and let's go see what we find.
Patches where their fields would have been, and there's one down here as well, just on the yellow bit, and then just beyond that is like the square black line. So it thinks that might have been their water system.
What? Who?
It's a straight line. The Vikings.
Vikings.
The Vikings were here.
How long ago was that?
900-ish was the Vikings, wasn't it? Period, Dark Ages period.
So the person speaking right now, his name is James. He's an awesome member of our filming crew, and he's also our safety representative. He hiked to the very top of this mountain with me when I went to go oversee Alex's claim. But we also were checking out these ruins. The area specifically that James is talking about is that square to the left of the abandoned house. Those are the old Viking ruins. And those lines that are running through the ground, those are part of the old irrigation system, probably used by both the Vikings and the sheep farmers, but I'm guessing that the Vikings were the ones that actually set it up. Now, the Norsemen, also known as Vikings, were here about 1,000 years ago, and they created many settlements around the edges of Greenland next to the major waterways. They are also the ones that developed the hot spring that is not too far away from this location. Now, I'm gonna go down here and check this out. I've also been told there's a grave that I can check out.
Tent? You said he'd been in the tent for the whole month?
He's getting a tent today.
I bet.
I've got to say, I loved listening to the way that people talk. I'm here with Georgia and Salik, and they're talking about one of Salik's friends living in a tent for a month in Greenland and how rough that must be. Anyways, we're trekking down to that beautiful barn. You guys know how much I love old stuff.
Really? You see the barrels?
Oh, neat. Yep, you bet. Meat, old barn wood junk. I am all about it. So when researching sheep farming in Greenland, it turns out that the first sheep that were ever to be in Greenland were brought over here by Eric the Red in 985 CE. That was a long time ago to bring sheep. This is really pretty. This is an old historical sheep farm that we're looking at. I'm gonna try to sit over to see some of the barrels. Ow! My ankle still hurts. Boink. Wow, that is cool. The icebergs out there. Just look at that view. I can't get over it. I'm sorry. It's just, it was fantastic to see all these awesome things. And of course, I rummaged through a little bit and found a beautiful glass jar. No, I didn't keep it. It stayed right there, just so you all know. Oh, and that green flowery stuff right there, that's called Angelica, and the locals eat it, like celery. Anyways, this looks like some form of maybe a basement under the barn. There were thousands of yellow buttercups all over the place. Those pretty yellow flowers on the ground. And everything is just soaking wet all the time. You're basically walking in like this squishy layer of water in the grass. Anyways, from what Salik had said, this area was actually one of the oldest known still standing sheep farms or ranches in Greenland. So after the Vikings were there, the major import of sheep started happening in the early 1900s from the Faroe Islands.
Celebration. Sorry guys, we're out of here.
There's wool left over in the bottom of the barrel. The native people of Greenland use wool and sheepskin in their native costumes still to this day. And there are many, many sheep ranches all the way across the island of Greenland. From what I looked up, there are over 55 farms and 20,000 sheep.
It's like they just left in the night.
It's a lot of places do.
Hey, they even painted their walls.
That was probably a paint can then. Oh, look at the wood stove.
Oh my god, that is actually amazing. You should take the wood stove and upcycle it for your new house, Silly.
Is this?
Yeah, that's why I said you should take the stove for your new house. Yeah.
Don't worry, nobody took the wood stove. But we did admire it heavily. And did you see they used straw for insulation? So as you can see, this place was new enough to have some form of a shingle type material on the roof, plus forms of glass windows, as you can see kind of underneath of that awning right there. I'm guessing it probably wasn't convenient enough for the people to stay there. That looks like a basement or the under portion of an old house. So this is Viking? What? Oh, what is this? Someone put this here? Oh no, I'm not moving it. I'm taking a picture of it. It says F something, FM on it. This is a Viking ruin behind me. I thought that was amazing to see this beautiful Viking ruin that hasn't yet been swallowed by the ground in Greenland. And what I'm about to see next just blew my mind. This is a Viking grave. What we were told is that this grave could actually be a grave where the Vikings buried the natives after they could have potentially killed them. Pretty morbid, but also it could have been a family grave site where they were buried in honor. We have no idea if there was any big war or conflict of any kind over this particular site. But it's just fascinating, the history right here. And it's all covered by geology. Or at least the rocks in the area are preserving this gravesite. You can see how the rocks were stacked on top of each other and kind of interlaced in areas, but since it is older, some of the rocks have been moved probably and have fallen in, so you get little caverns like this one. And for anybody that's squeamish, you may want to skip forward. No, there's nothing gross or gonna jump out and get you. Some people just might not like it.
I think I might come around this way. Oh no, maybe not.
I find this fascinating. These skulls in here are so well preserved for the area, seeing as how it gets so much rain and snow and freezing and all of the above. You all know that I love exploring, and this isn't my general normal content. However, I love the history behind this. These people could be centuries of years old.
Oh, good.
So for me, it was an honor to observe them. But after this, I needed a lot of relaxation. So I got to go to the hot spring all by myself in the rain. Look at the ice. And yeah, it's raining. It is truly amazing how beautiful these icebergs look in this fjord. Nothing is a good comparison for your eye. I've tried so terribly hard to take amazing pictures of these amazing icebergs, and I can't do anything to capture their beauty like I can see in my eye. The arêtes and the horns right in front of me, I see them so clearly with my eye. I just hope that you can see a glimpse of what I'm looking at in the camera. This is the dock to get to the hot springs, and that is my boat there waiting for me. I'm so very lucky that it was arranged that I could go here alone, but I absolutely loved meeting Winnie and her children from Nuuk. It was an absolute amazing experience, and I'm so grateful to have taken up Georgia on coming out here today, because it was well worth it and so relaxing. Thank you all so much for joining me on this little adventure. I know it's not my norm, but I so hope that you guys learned something and loved the view. Again, this was a blessing for me to be here, and I truly hope that you guys love it too. I'll see you all in the next one.